Welcome, brave souls, to the fourth installment of Season 6, The Cursed Destinations. We now descend into a place where the guilty never rest, and the innocent can't escape. For the next 5 episodes, we are locked inside, the haunted prison. Tonight, our journey begins with episode 16, The Cell That Whispers. They say that in the deepest, darkest corner of Block D, there's a cell that holds more than just memories. Every night, without fail, Cell 13 whispers names. Not just any names, but the names of prisoners long dead, their echoes trapped within the cold, unforgiving stone. The guards are used to it, a grim lullaby in a place filled with sorrow. They dismiss it as the wind, old pipes, or the settling of a decaying building. But they are wrong. It's the cell, and it remembers everyone. One starless night, the whispers were different, louder, more insistent. Officer Reyes, a man who prided himself on his steady nerve and skepticism, decided he'd had enough. Armed with nothing but a heavy-duty flashlight and a sense of duty, he marched down the echoing corridor toward Block D. The air grew colder with each step, the silence between the whispers growing heavier, more menacing. The other guards watched him go, a silent, shared unease passing between them. He arrived at Cell 13. The heavy steel door stood slightly ajar, which was impossible. It was always triple locked. Pushing it open with a groan of rusted metal, he swept his flashlight beam across the small, barren space. It was empty. A concrete slab for a bed, a rusted toilet in the corner, and 4 damp, graffiti-scarred walls. Nothing. But then the whispering started again. Not from the hallway, but from inside the cell with him. It was a dry, rasping sound, like dead leaves skittering across pavement. It whispered a name he knew. Henderson. A prisoner who had died in this very cell 50 years ago. Then another. Mulligan. Gone for 20 years. A chill, colder than any winter night, crawled up Officer Reyes' spine. He stood frozen, listening as the voice recited its ghostly roll call. Then it stopped. The silence that followed was somehow worse than the noise. And in that deafening quiet, a new whisper emerged, clear as if spoken right beside his ear. It was a single word. His name. Reyes! He spun around, his heart hammering against his ribs, his flashlight beam cutting a frantic, trembling arc across the darkness. The beam landed on the back wall and his breath hitched in his throat. The wall, which he had just seen covered in old graffiti, was now a horrifying ledger. Scratched deep into the stone were hundreds of names, a chaotic jumble of letters carved with desperate force. He scanned them, his light shaking so badly the names blurred. Henderson, Mulligan, and there, at the very bottom of the list, freshly carved as if by an unseen hand, was the final entry, his own name, Reyes. The other guards waited. The minutes stretched into an hour. The whispers from Cell 13 had ceased, replaced by an unnerving, absolute silence. Finally, as the first hint of gray dawn touched the prison yard, the captain led a team to investigate. They found the door to Cell 13 wide open. The cell was empty. Officer Reyes was gone. His flashlight lay on the floor, its beams still faintly illuminating the wall. But the wall was clean. The hundreds of scratched names had vanished, leaving only smooth, cold stone. By morning, the cell was silent again. And Officer Reyes was missing, another name absorbed into the prison's dark history, waiting to be whispered on a starless night. If you love scary stories and the chilling embrace of the unknown, don't forget to follow and subscribe for more horror chills. We have more tales from this haunted prison coming your way. Thank you for listening.